One thing I really want to talk about, an idea that we should leave behind in 2025, which is the most persistent myth in nutrition and diet. It's frustrating because I go visit family members and they're still on this low fat kick. They still think that low fat is the way to go. They think that low fat is healthier. It's not. Not when you're eating the healthy fats, which are basically animal fats. If we're talking vegetable oils, canola oil, if we're talking about those type of fats, yeah, those are bad for you. But saturated fat that comes from animal is not bad for you. And the problem is that so many people still think that we should eat lean meats, that we should eat foods low in fat. I see a family member with low fat yogurt and I look at them. Why? Why? Why low fat? And they just give me not a great answer like, well, I don't know. I don't want to get fat, so I should eat low fat. No. If you eat more fat, your body adapts to digesting fat for fuel. And then you burn the fat off of your body. I mean, hello? I'm 56 years old. I have a six pack, all natural. I don't even take peptides, for crying out loud. I may take some for my bad knee, but I don't take peptides to burn fat or gain muscle. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't take testosterone replacement therapy. It's because my body has adapted to burning fat for fuel that I look the way I look at 56. So get this idea that eating fat is bad for you. It's way outdated information, completely wrong. Comes back from way back. You can check out the link before. Who was Ansel Keys? He's the one who started this idea that fat leads to high cholesterol and that fat leads to heart disease. The evidence has now been shown that it's not dietary fat, it's a fatty liver, and that comes really from sugar. The blame has been shifted from sugar to fat. Now, there are some good trends, okay? 2025, the David bar exploded out there because why? Because it's high in protein. You eat this bar and you get not really 28 like they say, you get 25 grams of protein. But the trick is that it's blended in such a way that you eat it and you don't feel full at all. You feel like you ate nothing and you feel like you could eat another one, but you still got 25 grams of protein. This is still processed. It's not ideal. I consume some of them when I just happen to have a day where I didn't eat enough protein, then I'll take one. Not every day, every other day, more or less. So it has its benefit, but it's not super healthy, because it's still artificially made. However, the point is that the public has really captured the idea that, yes, we need more protein. I agree with that. That's a good thing. What we need to demystify or what we need to get rid of is this idea that, oh, but we want to avoid the fat. No, if you're working out, if you're doing any type of exercise, I would argue that it is literally impossible if you're doing the right types of exercise. Let me take that back, because if you're doing something like endurance, walking, jogging, like I've explained in some of my other videos, and you're just going to store fat at the center of gravity because your innate intelligence is adapting you to go further for longer. So we don't want to do that. But if you're doing resistance exercise, like my 10-minute workout, or you're doing an intense push and pull workout at least 5 days a week, and you're getting to muscle failure, you only need to do one set, you're getting to muscle failure, then you are going to be burning so much energy that you can basically eat all the fat that you want. You don't have to count calories. You eat all the fatty meat, fatty lamb, fatty chicken with the skin. It tastes better. Hello. Pork rinds, which is about 50% fat, 50% protein. You're not going to gain weight. In fact, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to lose weight. I'm going to show you now here a few charts on why we need fat and why we need to leave behind in 2025 this idea that we want to avoid fat. We don't want to avoid it at all.
Okay, so here we can see some very good reasons why we need fats. First of all, our freaking brain. The brain is an energy hogger. It takes up 2% of our body weight, but it hogs up 20% of our energy. And guess what? It's 60% fat. Yes. As a structural component of cells, fat is needed to build the cell walls. Fat also helps us absorb vitamins. Certain types of fat are heart healthy and are great for the heart and blood vessels. And of course, as a source of energy, fat is awesome. And here we can see good fat versus bad fat. Of course, when I mean good fat, I mean fat coming from animals and natural things, butter, tallow, ghee, coconut milk, coconut oil, avocado, fish, eggs, all the, by tallow, we really talking beef tallow, all the fat that's in pork, fish, beef, lamb, all of that is good. You compare it to bad fats. These are just basically processed oils. They are from plants, many of them, like peanut and soybean and corn. But canola is well, it was made in Canada. It was used for World War II battleships, and then the Canadians made a bunch of it. Then the war ended, and they're like, "What the hell do we do with all of this?" It was unconsumable for humans. They tweaked it. They changed one little thing with the canola oil, and now humans were able to tolerate it. And what I mean by tolerate, I mean tolerate it. It's not good for you at all. None of these oils, the bad ones, are not good for you. Basically, it comes down to this: natural from animals is going to be good, processed, human, factory made is going to be bad. And here, this chart here now shows the trends in dietary fat sources and obesity in the USA. And of course, very predictable, as vegetable oils have gone up in consumption, so has obesity rates. Animal fats, beef, pork, have gone slightly lower over time. That's not good. We need to eat more animal fats and avoid the vegetable oils and fats. This chart basically speaks for itself. And part of the problem is this: we keep getting bombarded by low fat foods, low fat this, low fat that, and we think it's healthy, but it's not.
So there you have it. I hope that information was helpful. Let's add this. Remember, when you eat fat, there's nothing more satisfying than eating fat because your liver produces bile. Bile gets stored in your gallbladder, okay? And once you eat a lot of fat and all your bile has been used to process that fat, well, you're really full. Like you're just completely full. You are truly satiated. Whereas when you eat a lot of carbohydrates and you avoid the fat, you don't get completely full. And so you want to eat again. And remember, to process fat, animal fats, it takes up to 6 hours to process animal fats. Carbohydrates, it only takes an hour to process carbohydrates. So we end up, it's getting windy out here. We end up taking longer to process fat, which is great because that reduces food cravings and we feel fuller for longer. So then when you try things like fasting, it's way, way easier when you have eaten animal fats and you try fasting. In any case, drink your buttered coffee, buck the trend. Don't be like everybody else. Don't try to fit the norm and go for the low fat stuff. Buck the trend, be smarter than everyone else. Know that animal fats is healthy and good for you. Thank you for watching this edition of Subconscious Fat. I'll be back next Monday with another video, and Thursday with Mr. Skeptical. Bye.